All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Balanced Boss Mom podcast. I'm your host, Erika, and today's episode is one I've been deeply looking forward to because it speaks directly to the heart of motherhood, identity, and generational healing. Now, so many of us were raising watching Overwhelm, Burnt Out, and self sacrificing be normalized. But what if it's not the legacy we want to pass down to our children? What if it's not the legacy that we want to make for ourselves? So, today we are going to talk about two different topics in this episode. One is going to be about dream modeling, and another is going to be about breaking the cycle of generational overwhelm. So, our children don't have to deal with this in their own survival mode as we have dealt with this in our own survival mode. Now, I am completely so happy that I have this next guest on my podcast because all these technical issues going on here has been driving me up the wall. So, without further ado, I want to welcome Anna, whose work focus on generational healing, emotional patterns, and helping parents understand how deeply why we model the shapes for the next generation. So, Anna, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here and share what I have for you and for all our audience.
And I thank you for being here on this podcast. Like I stated earlier, this conversation feels like we need this and it needs to be had. So I want to absolutely, before we dive in, I want to start with something that's a little bit light and grounded. And normally I ask like a little icebreaker, and I've been starting this off. So I'm going to ask two questions, kind of a little bit of an icebreaker. One is what is the word of the year that you have for 2026? And then secondly, um, how can you describe it, like describe that word in a feeling that you're currently in the season of your life, like emotionally or mentally?
Yeah, for me, it would be expansion. And it's about expansion on multiple levels. For me, it's about expansion in my business, expansion in my soulful journey, expansion in I am and how many people I can reach, how many lives I can change. It's like from all perspective and all sides. And I think that 2025 was kind of preparation for me to that. It was a lot of internal work, and
Mm-hmm.
at the end of that year, I was like really feeling like I need to shed old skin and stepped into this kind of new version.
Good. I like that. So I like that you said that 2025 was for preparation, but like 2026 is kind of like you're shedding everything off. It's a new beginning. I have picked the word of the year, and my word of the year is alignment. So I'm sharing that with all my guests and all my fellow listeners, that I want to have things that align with me emotionally, align with me physically, mentally, completely want things to be aligned. So that's my word of the year. And I love that you've picked your word of the year, like preparation and shedding everything off, because 2025 had ended off like a weird year, I think, for everybody. And 2026 is kind of beginning to pick up on that weird kind of previous, like kind of like when you're reading a chapter in the book, like previously on, and you're like, um, what is happening in 2026? So I get it. And I think so many moms listening or so many women today are going to feel seen just hearing that. Now, I want to start the foundation of our conversation for today, which is dream modeling, why it matters as a parent. It doesn't even have to benefit for a parent, but just for a woman or man in general. A lot of us are told to grow up to follow our dreams normally. And I think the older you get, you want to follow your dreams, but you also don't actually see your dreams being lived out because we're always like exhausted or self abandonment and surviving through all the things that we're going through. So when you talk about dream modeling, because I love that topic point, I was like, when I read it, I was like, this is interesting. What is dream modeling? And so I want to know, how do you define dream modeling? Why is it important for parents to understand the difference between teaching and modeling? Um, just go ahead and tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah. Sure, I will start with the difference. So when we talk, we already understand what we're talking about.
Okay.
When I'm talking about like dream modeling versus like teaching, you can say to your child like 100 times, go get your dreams. You can be
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want. But if he sees that you not following your dreams, that
Mm-hmm.
you doing like putting everything on shelf, you do not do anything for yourself, like it incongruent picture, and it start thinking, okay, why she say that I can but she cannot? Where's the truth?
Mm-hmm.
And we as human beings, we actually learn mostly from observing and repeating what we observed. And
Right.
and if you show to a kid that I put everything for my own on the shelf, but you can go get it, it will
Mm-hmm.
believe what he sees rather than what you tell him.
Okay.
And that's the big difference. So you can teach them that you can change, that you can be the best version of yourself, that you can achieve everything. But if
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't see that, there's no confirmation to that. It's like saying the sky is green, but he sees it's blue, and it's like, what?
I like
No
that
matter how
analogy
many
that you
times you will
I like how you said that analogy for like, the or like the grass is greener on the other side, but it's really not green on the other side. So I get where what you're saying, the difference between the teaching and the modeling. And so like I think one of the things that when we were younger, we were taught like, hey, follow your dreams. But now we're kind of like passing it down to our children, saying like, okay, well, follow your dreams. What do you want to be when you grow up? And some of the dreams don't really necessarily, I think we are designed into thinking that we have to do these patterns or we have to do these trends to like a plan is what I'm trying to get towards. More so like in life, you don't have a book, you don't have a plan, tomorrow isn't promised. um and I understand the term of following your dreams, but then again in life there's no plan, and I think we have been designed from when we're little, starting at zero, to getting into the toddler stage of, okay, tell your children, follow your dreams, all that, trying to get a plan, a game plan, but there's not really necessarily a plan. So my next question regarding dream modeling is, what do children learn? I know they learn from seeing what parents do. Um, how is it like actively honoring their dreams when they're watching their parents?
yeah. First of all, I want to underline that you're right. That we have like follow go like follow your dreams, but also we imply on them like finish the school, go get a degree, find good job, find a family, and
Mm-hmm.
you will be happy. And how many of us followed that script and found ourselves that we're not happy?
You're not
Like
happy because
that
it's
script is
it's
not
like
working.
it's like you're living your parent. It's like you're living your parents' life, where you don't have to necessarily live your parents' life. Like for me, and I've been asked this question a lot, where for my daughter, they're like, okay, are you going to want your daughter to go to college? Of course I want my daughter to go to college, because it's one, it's beneficial to have an education. And right now in the society where education is being stripped, they need the education. Can you believe 2036 is a graduation year? Like I'm like really mind blown. Like I can't even think I can't even think that I've made it to 2025, let alone like 2036 is insane to me. And so when I thought about 2036 is, one, it's my daughter's graduation year, and two, I'm like, I'll be 46. Okay? Like that's where it gets weird about the question I asked about what do they see the parents actively honoring their dreams, because I think with my dream is I wanted to be, like I said, a professional violinist, and then it didn't pan out for me being a professional violinist, because I was like, is it going to pay me financially? That's the mindset I was thinking. So then I got into medical, and I love medical, but I want to be able to get into like the nitty gritty stuff of medical, like get into the hospital and see all the action. And that's my goal that I want to do, not necessarily insurance or be in the insurance field, because I don't want to be in that too much longer. I want to get into like looking at what the doctors see and be like, hey, come in and see this kind of thing. So that's one of my goals. But the other thing is it's the podcasting on the other flip side is I love podcasting. It's fun. It's not like you're going to a 9 to 5. It's like you have these multifaceted conversations and they panned out really well. Do you have any dreams for yourself?
Yeah, sure. Like, I have a big vision in terms of my mission and what I want to do, and I see myself in traveling and do like workshops all over the world and writing the books and like many stuff. But also, I want to say that who says that you can only have one dream? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we all said us, even like the question to the kid, who you want to be when you grow up? Like, ask what the kind of person you want to be when you will grow up, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us have this mindset that if I'm in this field, I need to stick to this field. I cannot go
Mm-hmm.
there, or I cannot like develop in multiple. Also, the common misconception is that you can be good only in one thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
not true. We're multi-passionate persons. We can do multiple things, and even for you, like
Ex-
you can develop your podcast and still go into medical nitty-gritty
and
things as
still,
you wish it.
yeah. And that's something that I
Yeah, and
really
when
like. I want to teach children that you still can follow your dreams and you don't have to put yourself last or make yourself feel like the last in the title pool. Because as women, we always put ourselves in the last, like the very last. And the question I have is what happened when children, like our children, sees us put ourselves last consistently? Like, is it affecting them emotionally? Because I know children can sense, like, if a mom is having a bad
yeah,
day or if a dad is going through a rough time. And I've always wondered because it's very powerful to reframe ambition as something rational versus something not being selfish. So what would you say for like a child growing up watching like that mom, that single mom or that single dad, or even a relative that's stepping into the parenting role, pulling themselves last?
I can go along in this topic because like I passionate about working with overwhelmed moms because I've been on both sides. I was a
Mm-hmm.
kid of an overwhelmed mom, and I
Mm-hmm.
know how to be an overwhelmed mom because at some point of life I found myself there. And
Mm-hmm.
the smaller the kids, the more this bad mood of mom they take as their default.
Mm.
Oh, maybe I
Okay.
did something wrong. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe, and they try to like unconsciously they start putting themselves in the box. So to to be pleasing, to be so mama don't yell, so mama don't cry, so mama do not be disappointed. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you should hide your emotions. We're not robots. We should show our kids that all emotions are okay, that we can cry, that we can yell, but
Mm-hmm.
we need to make sure that they understand that they are not the fault of that. And
Okay.
it's like the first paradigm because when they take it as their fault, they start to fixing themselves, though they're not the reason. And
And,
also they learn that it's kind of the thing. Like if you growing up looking at your mom and you see that she is always like do for everyone and put
mm-hmm.
herself last, guess what she will be doing when she will become a mom? And guess what your son
Putting
will be
herself,
expecting from her, from
putting
his wife,
herself, yep,
if
to be
he saw the same?
putting herself last. So I see, and I love that perspective that you put into what would your daughter see if you keep putting yourself last instead of putting yourself first. And that's why for 2026, put myself first because I want to travel. I want to get out there and show her a little bit of the world this year and like show her that there's more than just being in one state. I mean, yeah, it's a big state, but explore the world, be your own person. Um, which as children, when you're so small and so tiny and so impressionable, they don't have a care in the world. They just want their mom, they just want their dad. And I think spending that time and developing that time with them, like you said, reframe the question of what kind of person that you want to be when you grow up instead of saying, what do you want to be when you grow up? I like how you reframe that question because it gives them the opportunity to say, well, I want to be this kind of person as a doctor, or I want to be this kind of person as a lawyer. like I said, my daughter, she loves to draw. So I told her, I said, you can be the best artist in the world. You might be able to make Picasso and you just don't know it. And she's like, yeah, I think I can. I'm like, it's not you think you can do it. I mean, she draw, like when I say she know how to draw Lilo and Stitch and Moana, and I get so amazed because I'm like, where did you learn how to pick up and do all this? Like, is this in your brain? Like, where did this go? And so for me, I feel like breaking that barrier and breaking those molds, as like you stated, dream modeling, um, can also be very beneficial. And it's not to say that a parent can't be selfish sometimes, but I really think a parent needs to start living and not be in survival mode all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And so, which
In
brings
terms
me,
of like,
no, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
yeah, I wanted to say that in terms like, uh, we all so afraid that if we take care of ourselves, that they will feel like we're neglecting them, or we will feel that way, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not the story. What in reality is happening, like, imagine that you hire a babysitter. Would you hire a babysitter who came to the interview all tired up, like irritated, not in her best? Like, you wouldn't hire such person.
Right. Nope.
But what? But why we won't expect from us running on empty to do everything? When we do not care ourselves, we give our kids not our best care. We give what
Mm-hmm.
leftover energy from us
And
instead of
it
taking a
takes a
pause,
lot.
feeling yourself.
It takes a lot of energy
Yeah,
because I feel like like I remember, for example, one day I was working like a lot of overtime and my daughter was like, Mom, you're working way too much. And it dawned on me because I was like, well, I'm working because there's bills got, you don't understand the concept. You got to work to pay the bills to make sure you have a roof over your head so that way you have clothes on your back so that way you can eat all the junk and food, not and healthy food and every type of food that you want to eat. So I'm doing this to make sure everything's on the table. And when she said that to me, I was kind of like, it hit me like a ton of bricks because I was like, wow, she really said, like, in her head it's like you're not spending the time with me. So then it got me thinking where I was like, okay, now I have to start breaking down, okay, I can do overtime 1 day, 2 days, I don't need to do it every day, but 1, 2 days will be beneficial. And so now we create like movie nights on Saturday nights, which tonight we're doing the Bears ball game, so excited. But like Sundays right before school starts, we do like a movie and just kind of chill. And so I want to get into the breaking the cycle of self-sacrificing and the overwhelming. So I want to talk about being overwhelmed because this is something that so many moms feel but don't realize they inherit it. Um, Being overwhelmed. So many of us watch our moms live. I know for sure, I probably watched my mom live a stressed life, or maybe she's hid that stress from me, so I didn't see it, or the emotional side of things. I may have seen it maybe once or twice, but she hid that. So, how does being overwhelmed become a general pattern rather than experiencing it individually?
yeah. It starts from observing our moms. It's start from observing. Okay, I see that she is like constantly working. She's constantly tired. She don't have
Mm-hmm.
energy to play with me in the foolish. She like, and we started noticing, okay, why is that? Oh, she do that, she do that. And we became growing up, and when we become moms, we don't have like playbook of being a mom, so we
Mm-hmm.
kind of follow our intuition and follow the programming that we had. And like, I think every mom at least once in her life thought like, I sound just like my
My
mom.
mom, oh my
And
goodness, if
usually
I
it's not in
cannot
the
give
best
you a
perspective.
blueprint, I if I cannot give you a blueprint, I know I say at least maybe once or twice in a month, I'm like, I sound like my mom. Like, what is happening here? Like, and I'll text my mom and be like, Mom, I just sound like you for like 2 seconds and I don't know where it came from. And she's like, yeah, it's not that the age that your daughter is right now, you're going to see the attitude. She said she's going to get you when she's older, like you got me. And I was like, I don't know. But then once I start seeing like the attitude, like right now, because she's getting like 7, 8, 9 right now, the more I see the attitude starting to form, the more I'm like, look here, lady, you're not going to give me a run for my money when you become a teenager because this is not happening. This is it's a no-go for me. And I like how you said,
Yeah.
I like how you phrased that. You know, there is no blueprint of being a mom, which I wish it was. I wish there was a book because you know my first book was all different type of things regarding the podcast and regarding like following your dreams. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is I have two questions. So, why is self sacrifice so deeply tied to motherhood's identity, especially for women? And then also, what do children absorb when they grow up inside like the chaotic stress or even when nothing is being verbally said?
Yeah. Well, it came from history in terms of self-sacrifice, especially like when in society there was model that mom stayed home, take care of kids, take care of
Mm-hmm.
house, and husband goes to work and bring the money. Like he's a breadwinner, you take care of the house. Then woman like, no, it's not the right thing. I want to
Mm-hmm.
also self-realize. I want to work. Now woman on top of taking care of house, on top of
Yes.
taking care of kids,
Yes.
they start working and still require like on subconscious level in society, like general conscious level, we still feel that it's woman's responsibility. But it's like
But
50-50 actually.
it
And
shouldn't
even
be
if
a
you
but it shouldn't be a woman's women shouldn't have to sacrifice going to work, cooking and cleaning, making sure dinner is ready, making sure the child is in the shower or tub, making sure that everything is set for where I believe, like you said, it should be 50-50. And I feel like a lot of things need to be 50-50. You know, men can go to work, but men need to also understand that, okay, my wife is tired and she needs a break from the kids. Let me give her that break for an hour at least or 2 hours, however long that you need to see fit for your wife to have, and go from there and say, you know what? It's she needs it. She needs that break, and that break is okay. Which I love because I tell my spouse all the time, I'm like, look, my cup this morning is like 25%. I need you meet me halfway. This is not something I'm kid you not. I told him earlier this week, I said, I'm tired. I was like, I can't do it this morning. And he's like, all right, you go back to sleep. I'll get her dressed, get her on the bus, and when you wake up for work, you'll be ready for work. And he did. He let me sleep until it was time, which was really, I appreciate it because it was like he sees that I'm tired and then he understands that I needed the rest because I'm always like, okay, I'm going to take this nap. And he's like, no, turn off your phone, put your glasses down because I'll fall asleep. I'll fall asleep with my glasses and it's a bad habit. I got to break. But like I'll fall asleep or I'll feel him take my glasses off and I'm like, all right, I'm going to sleep. And I finally just be out like a light. So I think so many moms confuse being burnt out with being a good parent. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad parent because you're burnt out. It means at the end of the day, you're wearing that super mom cape and you're doing what's right. You're doing what you believe in. It. The belief is so conditioned to the point where we often wear the cape a little bit too much. So for my thing for moms out there for 2026, take a little bit back for yourself, get that bubble bath in, get that nap in, because I know I'm gonna do it for myself this year. And make sure that it's important to have the reframe of not being so burnt out anymore. So I want to go into a little deeper here because I know we all got time, that we got things to do here soon. So I want to go a little deeper because this is where things really start to click for parents. Not just for parents, but I think for women and men in general. Our kids don't just hear what we say. Like I said earlier, they feel our emotions and they feel what we do mentally, but they also feel within our nervous system. So, how does a parent, whether they're a parent or an aunt stepping into that parent role or an uncle stepping into that parent role, deal with like the emotional regulations or the dysregulations that shapes a child's sense of safety and emotional health?
Yeah, it all starts with yourself. It's all starts from regulating your nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that you on a like emotions are not good or bad. There's no such thing as bad emotions. They are all good. All
Mm-hmm.
emotions came to us in order to help us navigate our surrounding, to so we can pay attention to something, notice something. It's like communication of our body, of our safety system with us.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people react versus respond to the emotions. And when we learn to be a friend with our emotions, then
Mm-hmm.
we can respond. And it take like literally it's easy three-step process. It's like acknowledging that you feel like, yes, I am angry, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, okay, but I choose something different. I choose not to yell, for example, but say calmly. So it all starts from regulating of our nervous system, and we can teach these kids from the youngest. So when they feel like, and we can also, if we felt like we out of our control and like the cap go off and we out of control, it's not a bad thing to come to
Mm-hmm.
your kid and say, look, I'm sorry that happened to me. It's like not your fault. I shouldn't react it this way. Like we're afraid to take responsibility for our emotions in front of our kids, so because
Mm-hmm.
they might feel like we are losing our authority, but it's not true. It's actually
Okay.
learn them that, oh, we all have emotions, we can react, but we can also learn to respond. Let's learn together.
Mm-hmm.
And for kids it's a lot in play mode. Like for example, I remember with my kid we were playing games like okay, who will roar like a lion the loudest, to like just to
Mm-hmm.
release those emotions, because we all have this natural things of releasing. And it's like there's intellect and there's emotional intellect. So basically you need to make sure that you have friends with your emotions, your nervous system regulated, and then your kid will essentially be understanding what's happening. And like do not afraid of speak up, do not afraid to address what's happening. It will help kids to feel like, okay, even if mom yells, she's in control of situation. She
Mm-hmm.
told me like, okay, that
And then
happened and that
apologize.
happened, so they can relax. They do not feel like they need to carry that.
So then after that, do you just go ahead and just apologize for having that reaction? Because I know they say that this is a part of being the gentle parent, but also being the helicopter mom. And I'm kind of like both right now. Like I'm in this stage of being both, which is giving me a little bit anxiety because like I'm the helicopter mom in a sense of, okay, she doesn't need to be on this bike or she doesn't need to be on this just yet. But my spouse is like, let her, she has to learn in order to be prepared on how to ride the bike or how to ride the car or just anything. So if she falls, she'll get back up and try it all over again. And so for me, it's like, but I don't want her to hurt herself. And then it's like when she does, I have to step back and be like, okay, she'll come to me when she's ready, which is like the scary part about parenting, right? It's the, you got to let them be their own person. And it's tough when I can't see what she's doing at school, because now it's like you're in school, for example. And I'm like, I can't see what you're doing at school, but I don't want you to come home crying. I want you to have a good day. And then she comes home and she's like, Mom, I had the best day ever. And I'm kind of like, I can breathe because she tells me she has a good day, which is so freeing. And it's because it takes a lot of pressure off of us when we hear that our child has a good day. It doesn't mean like it's like you have to be right all the time, but it does mean that it is something freeing that I like. All right, so I have three questions for you that I want to talk about. So, in this kind of topic that we're going on about what does breaking the cycle actually look like? What are small but powerful shifts parents can make today? And how can moms begin dream modeling without swinging into being burnt out?
Yeah, it starts from small steps. It literally starts from taking 5 minutes for yourself, even if there's like a pile of laundry. It's it starts with saying your kid like, "Mom, need 5 minutes. You can play by my side, but I need 5 minutes to rest." It
Mm-hmm.
starts from small things, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. The more energy you have, and the more understanding that life is not ruined. I'm still a good mom, even if I'm take time for myself. And it grows and become into a bigger steps. And one day you will realize like, okay, I can do what I want because I have that time. And
Mm-hmm.
also what I teach a lot of moms who I work with is like, use time pockets. We all have 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but most of us feel like we cannot do anything under that 5 minutes. We doom
Mm-hmm.
scroll, or we hustle into some other tasks to make it quick. But what if
Mm-hmm.
in those 5 minutes you will start planning, you will start thinking about what you can do? If you have some hobby, what if you would spend those 5 minutes on that hobby? And like I did the math, even 5 minutes here and there a few times a day, like more than 3 hours a week just for your dreams, just for yourself. And the more you increase it, the bigger the time frame becomes, and you realize, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I actually can do it. Like for example, I get my master degrees not way back. I get it like literally last year I finished my master degree. I started taking my master degree when my son was at school, my little one was in diapers yet. Like I was stay-at-home mom, I was doing
Mm-hmm.
the bookkeeping, so like I did a lot of things and I still managed to find the time for what matters for me.
But I need a break because I feel like a bachelor's is a lot harder than what they say. They say bachelors are harder than masters. They say masters is easy, but me personally, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. But I commend you because to have two little ones and being working from home, it's not easy working from home. By the way, people, if you think working from home is so easy, I want you to take a page out of my book for 24 hours and see what working from home actually looks like, because it's not what you see on these movies and TV where it's like the glitz and the glamour. It's literally you're running for everybody else all day long until like you get tired and you're like, I need that nap or I need that break or I need, being a stay at home mom is just as equivalent to being a working stay at home mom. So I commend all the moms out there and the stay at home dads for doing what you're doing. And I want to speak directly to any parent who is listening that feels that dreaming too big or dreaming too small or starting late is a bad thing, because it's not. You shouldn't feel guilty for starting your dreams late. You shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to even achieve that business or that goal. Um, what's the worst thing that can happen? Somebody says no to your dreams, or somebody gives you a million times yes to that dreams. So one of the things I want to say out to my listeners is go ahead and achieve those dreams, because you don't know what's going to happen. Um, in your case, Anna, what is something that you want a parent to hear from right now from you?
Yeah, go get your dreams because literally like is the biggest regret of most elderly people is not living true to their dreams and true to themselves. And you
Hmm.
definitely don't want to end up on that statistic. And by following your dreams, you will understand that it gives you so much more energy to take care of your kids, to be with your kids, to take care of your house. Because when you're fully on your path, when you're fully following your dreams, it
Hmm.
gives you enormous amount of energy, like literally enormous.
That is so true.
And yeah,
And when you don't give up on yourself and your dreams, you have a bigger reward at the end of the day. And I love that so much that you're saying that you should, whether you're a mom or dad, an aunt or uncle, you should still achieve your dreams. And I think that's a perfect place to end on this note, Anna. Um, Before we do end, I want to ask you, where can the followers or the listeners today, whether they're watching or not, um, can follow you at?
yeah, sure. It's Me First Moms on most social medias, also mefirstmoms.com. And I'm always glad to support moms for all their dreams and building the life of their dreams, because I'm on the mission of redefining motherhood, that it's not self-sacrifice, it's living the dream, and it shouldn't be that hard. And
Hmm.
also, I want every mom to remember that they're chosen to be happy and it's time to claim it.
I like to end on that perfect note. Well, guys, as the little note that I've always leave is, breaking the cycle doesn't mean erasing your past. It means choosing differently, sometimes quietly, sometimes imperfectly. You don't even have to be perfect to be imperfect, but intentionally. Your children don't need a parent who sacrifice being burnt out all the time. They need someone that has their undivided attention, love, care, support. As I am one to do that for my daughter, I'm putting the forefront in 2026 to work less and start enjoying life more and have fun. So, as a parent who shows them what fulfillment, emotional regulation, and dreaming adult looks like, Anna, I want to thank you so much for this powerful conversation this evening and for all the work that you do truly. To all the boss moms listening, if this episode resonates with you, share it with someone that you love, someone that might benefit or need permission to dream again. You don't need permission at all to dream again. You just need to take a chance on yourself. Until next time, stay balanced, stay bold, and remember, your healing changes generations. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on my YouTube channel. Follow me on Spotify, wherever I may stream, Apple, Pandora, wherever you may see fit to hear my podcast. Until next time, this is Erika from the Balanced Boss Mom podcast. Again, Anna, thank you for being here. And bye, guys.